Hello, this is the video presentation, task number 4 of the UTeach Special Education case interview provided by Epic Charter Schools. Quick introduction, my name is Benjamin Cobb. Most people call me Ben. I'm the proud parent of a 5-year-old. She just started kindergarten this year. She loves every bit of it. I have a BA in Administrative Leadership from the University of Oklahoma and an MBA from Mid-America Christian University. I taught broadcasting at American Broadcasting School for 8 years. I was a radio disc jockey both here in Oklahoma City and in North Carolina. So if I come off sounding like a radio DJ, that's probably why. I'm applying for a teaching position at Epic's UTeach Special Education Program. I'm applying for a position as a special education teacher. I received the case interview and we'll go over that right now. We'll just kind of sum up what I learned, and I learned a lot. Task number 1 was the grit survey, or part 1 of task number 1 was the grit survey. I've never taken a grit survey before. I may have, I just don't remember. I answered all 10 questions without hesitation and honestly. My score was a 3.8, and I believe it said that I was in the top 50% of those who scored. What this tells me is that my answers were indicative to someone who finishes the project, who finishes it with passion. I would agree with that 100%. 99% of the time I finish what I start from the beginning to the end. I have self-motivation. I'm a self-contained kind of guy when I start a project, especially if I'm passionate about it. And I believe the UTeach program and teaching special education, that would be something I'm passionate about. A 3.8 also tells me that there's room for improvement, that there's times where, I can use some encouragement. I try to surround myself with people who are encouraging and people who are optimistic. I'm just like everyone else. We get into that rut every once in a while, and we need that extra push to get out. That was part A. Part B was the boot camp application, which I filled out in full. There was that question that really grabbed my attention. Why are you interested in teaching children with disabilities? My quick answer is I want to be someone whose influence can change a child's life in a positive way. I want to be a positive influencer. That to me is what leadership is about. Moving on to task 2, the executive summaries. First part A, or part 1, was a series of 3 questions. Question 1 was, why do you believe in Epic's educational model, and why do you want to be a part of it? I believe strongly in that one-on-one interaction that Epic provides. The teacher has one-on-one with the student. I think that's important. It's important for that teacher to get to know the student, get to know their environment, get to know their parents, so that they can choose a plan that's right for that student. And I am a big believer in that. I believe that you can reach that student's potential without a lot of interruption and faster by doing it that way. I want to be a part of that. Question 2, why do you feel like you're a good fit for Epic's UTeach program? And why do you want to be a part of it? Again, I want to be a part of something bigger than myself. And I believe teaching special education would do just that. And 2, I'm compassionate and I'm patient. I think those characteristics are needed when teaching someone with special needs and dealing with someone with special needs parents. Too often the parents are forgotten in the equation. They have a big say in their child's learning just as much. So I think that's important. Number 3, the question 3, it would be a huge mistake for Epic not to offer me a position in the UTeach program because I could add value to the organization. I have experience both as a student and a teacher in distant learning. Part 2, I didn't know a lot about an IEP until I interviewed, or actually 2 or 3 days prior to my first interview with Epic. I knew that children with special needs had a different learning style or had a different learning plan than regular students. But I didn't know what an IEP was. Individualized educational plan. I bought a book, and I cited my book in my case study. The The book kind of explains what an IEP is, and it's a model, a learning plan that measures progress. One thing that jumped out about me is that an IEP is not written by just one person. It's a collaborative effort. It takes many. It takes occupational therapists, speech therapists, psychiatrists, parents, regular education teacher, and special education teacher, all to get together and put this plan together and come up with an agreement of how it should be implemented. Because it's important in reaching that child's potential, true potential. So that's what I learned about an IEP. Part 3, there was a couple of things that I put. The data-driven instruction. There's a saying in business, what gets measured gets managed. It's important and when you're individualizing a learning plan, it's important to take a bunch of data and put it together so you can customize that plan for that individual, that student. It's important, especially important in special education. And we're not talking about just specialized tests that the state provides, or those standardized tests. I mean, the data could be attendance, it can be reading habits, things of that nature, all compiled, analyzed, and then used to provide that plan. And also the last thing, the differentiated instruction. Individuals have different learning styles. This is taking that, learning about the student. It's important for the teacher to learn about the student so that they can provide that plan. It might be different. It might be content-based. It might be the process. It might be the product. It might be the learning environment. The student may have had an environment that didn't provide him with the success he needed prior to entering EPIC. It's our job to create that environment, to make it different, differentiate. So there's different tools. I learned a lot, but I'm running out of time. I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope I hear back from you soon. Bye.